This tea feels so good in my hands. This mug of tea, what does this say? This is a Christmas mug, I think. Let's see. It says, "Baked fresh daily with love. Mrs. Claus Cookie Company. Old-fashioned," jeez, I can't say that, Kringle family recipes. I probably got this from a yard sale because I thought it was just cute. Yeah. So, I'm drinking tea. My tummy is, I don't know what the heck today. I don't know what's going on. I'm fine though. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm perfectly fine. Just my stomach is screaming at me, saying stop, and I don't know what to stop. Well, I did stop the coffee. I did. I said, let me just not drink anymore. So I said, let me go ahead and just keep drinking tea. And this is so, oh gosh, tea is so good for you. It's just so good. Coffee is too. And good morning, Christine. And good morning, Tanya. Hi. Thank you so much for being here at the last minute. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I announced it here. I announced it at Al's party on Sunday that I am back on caffeine. I have been for quite some time, actually a couple of months already. Hey, Rhonda, what's going on? Good morning. And I'm happy about it. I really am. I was advised by my OBGYN. Let's just get real and honest here. I'm a woman. We have women in the chat right now. Let's just be real and honest with each other. So she advised me to stop caffeine for some issues I was having. So she said it would probably help if you just got off the caffeine. I said, okay. So I did it for a while, like what, over a year. And I was drinking decaf. Everything was fine. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So I just went back to drinking caffeine and I'm happy. I really am. I had to lay off this morning because of my tum tum. And I just have to tell you, I feel like my life is so much better on caffeine. Is that not wrong? I think it's bad. It feels like it's an addiction, but I don't care. And another thing, I'm going through the whole sleep issues again, and I feel that the whole perimenopause issue is just like we've been talking about this here for years. So this is a real thing. Like I can't sleep. I sleep and then I wake up and I force myself to go back. Like this is horrible. I don't even know. Like help me. I tried, what did I do? I got something the other day. I went to CVS. I said, I'm going to try a natural sleep supplement because I can't keep taking the Tylenol PM. Like that's so bad. It's probably why my stomach's probably disintegrating right now. That's probably why I'm having problems today. It's not. But I said, let me try the natural stuff. Melatonin, let me tell you guys, I took that once. I was out of it for 3 days. So I will never take that again. I will never take melatonin again. We'll never say never. But right now, for this stage of my life, I'm not taking it. So I tried, what's that? There's a big brand called Ollie or something like that. And I saw that. So that's, and I Googled the reviews and they had really good reviews. Oh, it puts me to sleep within a half an hour and I stay asleep. Instead of sleeping 6 hours, I sleep 8. This stuff is awesome. So the CVS brand is right next to it. And literally, I think it was about $8 less. So I said, I'm just going to get the CVS brand. Same exact ingredients, same percentages. So I'm like, what the heck? I'm just getting the CVS brand. What's the big deal? They're gummies, right? And I just can't stay asleep. I cannot stay asleep. And the thing that does make me stay asleep are the generic Tylenol PMs. I stay asleep all night, but I'm just so afraid I'm killing myself by having those all the time. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid my liver is going to explode and it's probably black by but you know what? It helps me. And I at least, you guys know, if you don't get a good night's sleep, you're a mess and you can't function. You just can't. So I don't know, ladies in the house say, woo. Say, ladies in the house, if you've been through it, you know what I'm talking about, but it's horrible. It's horrible. And the rest of me feels fine, except for today of my stomach. But normally, And getting back on caffeine has helped my psyche so much. And I don't drink caffeine. Like my cup of coffee, my cup of iced coffee, mind you, it's a cup this big, my reusable Cumby Farms cup. Half of it, only half of it has coffee in it, and the rest of it's ice, milk, half is milk, and then a little shot of flavored creamer. International coffee, 0 sugar. It's so good. I don't even know what kind it is, like hazelnut or something like that. Oh my gosh, here goes my nose. Do you see it dripping? I just want you to see it. And so I feel good about myself mentally and physically, just not today. So I don't know. The sleep thing though, it's such a problem and I can't somebody's got to help me. I just I literally just want to go to bed, lay down and stay asleep. 6 hours is fine. I'm fine with the 6 hours as long as it's consecutive and I'm not waking up at 10:30 going, "Oh, it must be 6 a.m. or 5 a.m." No, it's 10:30. Why? I feel like I just slept for 3 days. Then I can't go back to sleep for a couple of hours, then I fall asleep for a little bit, then I wake up again at 2. I don't know. I'm so sorry, but maybe some of you can help me. I don't know. But the sleep thing, I would really love to get that under control. Hi, who's here? Let's see. Um, so Tanya said, I don't have caffeine because of my blood pressure, but I drink a ton of decaf, which I was doing. And Rhonda said, I went through menopause at 47 and only felt hot, cold at the same time. I'm going through that again, too. That is, oh my gosh, like I'm starting to burst into flames again. And you guys know that was going on years ago here. It's starting again. Like it went away and now it's coming back. Like I feel people must think I'm insane. I put my sweatshirt on, I take it off. I put it on, I take it off several times a day. And people must look at me and go, what is wrong with this woman? What is wrong with her? Um, so Rhonda said, no other issues. And what a blessing the last 11 years have been. Good for you. Hi, Nancy. How are you? That's great, Rhonda. And Christine says the concert in Shipshewana was postponed due to the C word in the Lou band. I believe Lou had it. That's what I was told. But I guess he's on the upswing, which is amazing. And we love Lou. And the new date is July 25th. Can we all send prayers to Lou and his band for quick recovery and health? Always sending prayers. And speaking of prayers, so, we have to talk about Gary Stuckey. I don't know what happened. I really don't. And if any of you can enlighten us, let me know. I feel terrible. Just trying to share what I can that his brother Barry's putting out there. And we just have to say, hopefully Gary is okay and comes through this terrible thing he's going through. I'm just every time I read, I'm shocked. Like where did this come from? And you just, you know, like Al said to me today, he goes just a few minutes ago, actually, he goes, every day is not a guarantee, and it's true. But geez, Gary was it's like he was just on social media. So I'm in shock, really. I feel so bad, and I just want to send all of our love and prayers to Gary, of course, like ultimately to Gary, and hopefully he gets better, and his family. I can't imagine what these poor people are going through with him right now. It sounds like it's such a roller coaster of emotions and I don't know. All I can say is so many prayers and love going out to Gary. I mean, he is a fixture here on YouTube. He is the Steve Perry News Channel. Gary's just a nice guy, and I don't know. All I can say is I am in shock. Like I think everybody else is. I really do. Everybody who's been following Gary for years. He's been around a long time. So sending prayers. And Gary, if you ever see this, I really hope you're seeing this when you're well and you're on the other side of whatever it is you're on the side of now. I don't know how else to put it because, like I said, it's just shocking. It just seemed to have come out of nowhere. So anyway, yeah, and just everybody pray for him. And hey, Kurt, good morning. And Nancy said, so worried about Gary. Tanya sends prayers. And Rhonda said, Gary's 50th birthday is the 1st of December. I'm shocked about Gary. Also, he has 3 young kids, 2 boys and a daughter. I mean, all we can do is pray. And the power of prayer really is an amazing thing. I mean, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've been through it. It is an amazing, amazing thing. So, again, everybody, please just send your prayers, go over to Gary's Facebook page and wherever you follow him. I think his brother's mostly posting there. I don't know. I'm not really following on anything else because that's what pops up for me. So just go ahead, send some prayers and love, and we can just hope for the best for him and his family. So the weather here in Rhode Island has been beautiful, to say the least. I was outside this morning and said, feels like early spring out here. It feels like the snow has melted and we're in early spring weather. I don't know what's going on. Al said it's going to be in the 60s this week. And, we desperately need rain. And for those of you who know us, who've been following us for a long time, we live on a pond. It is completely dry, bone dry. So clearly all the fish are dead. Anything that was living in there is no longer. We've had beavers and all kinds of things, and I'm sure they've we're not staying around here. There's nothing for us to eat. We ate it all already because the pond's been so dry. So we just, that's another thing. Honestly, we need to pray for rain. I mean, we really, really need rain. And I can't imagine what next spring is going to look like for our plants because remember, I think this year was the best in a long time for hydrangeas because of all of the rain we had this time last year. We need rain. We really, really need rain. I don't know if any other parts of the country are experiencing drought conditions. I know there are because, the brush fires and everything and then I see a news story yesterday about this idiot maybe he was in Rhode Island. I don't know. Maybe. Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut. He's close by. Dumbass is going around starting brush fires. And the guy is in his early 70s. What is wrong with you? And why would somebody purposefully do that? I mean, he's been caught, but gosh, what is wrong with you? Why would you? Why? You just have to wonder sometimes and go, you know what? If your head's not screwed in on straight, just go live in the basement and don't come out. Ever. I could not believe some of these news stories. I just don't understand it. I really don't. And then another one I saw on the news. This was the most ridiculous thing on the planet. So in some freaking museum in New York City, there's a banana duct taped to a wall, and they're trying to sell it, quote unquote, we'll get into that in a second, for $1 million. Now, let's just be clear on this. You don't get the banana, you don't get the duct tape because the banana is going to rot, right, in a couple of days. So they got to keep replacing the banana. For the $1 million or whatever you're paying the auction people to this banana and duct tape, that's all it is. A banana duct tape to a white wall. You're buying yourself the rights to visit the banana and the piece of duct tape that's holding the banana on the wall. Honest to God, if somebody is stupid enough to pay even a penny for that, God help you. I don't know the more I hear of things, the more I am dumbified. And this is why I don't watch the news, but some days I don't have a choice. I have to watch it. And hey, it gives me something to talk about because I would have never known about that darn banana. Please help me. And the amount of traffic that has increased lately. I'm like, why is everyone in a car? I don't even want to drive anymore, to be honest with you. So something happened to me on Sunday. And Al's probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but I'm still destroyed about it. So there's this side street that I use a lot to come out of where the Walmart Plaza is. It's called Center of New England. Then there's a side street. Believe it or not, the name of the street is called Gay Street. So I always go down Gay Street. Always. I always because it's a great shortcut. So I'm on Gay Street and here's the main road. Now, mind you, where I'm coming out of is a single lane road before it splits off into two. So I'm coming out, it's single, and then the other side of the street is a double lane, and then that merges into a single lane. So someone was nice enough to let me go and cross over and take a left. Some complete idiot decides that they don't wanna wait, and be patient. So they came around. I almost hit the person. I almost side what do you call it? Side swiping. I almost sideswiped them. I went into the side of their car and didn't stop. I thought I had taken a heart attack at that moment because now here's the thing, if I was not paying attention, I totally would have hit that car. They shouldn't have done that, but it was so scary to me and I was so shaken up about it, but this is traffic now. People are sick in the head driving. Everyone is in a rush. No matter where I drive, if I'm driving the speed limit or a little bit over the speed limit, it's still not fast enough for the person behind me. So if you're out driving and you ever find yourself getting impatient, just don't because it's not worth it. It's like you could potentially be, making someone jittery. Some like I was so upset for the remainder of the day. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And that was the day of Al's party. He's 70 now. Al, I am married to a 70-year-old, which is kind of crazy, but we had fun. It was, friends/family. Our friends are our family. So it was great. It was a beautiful, beautiful day outside. So people were outside on the deck and, the cake was so good. I got the cake from Borelli's Bakery in Coventry, Rhode Island. It was like chocolate with whipped cream in between and strawberries. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And not a piece was left, I love that. I cooked for 3 days. I made sausage and peppers with meatballs, chicken parm, pasta with sauce. It was delicious. I got to freeze a lot of the leftovers. So I'm like, oh, well, and everybody went home with a doggy bag. So it was great. But we had a really nice day and, just a little something to celebrate a major milestone in my husband's life. So it was really good. I hope you guys had a great weekend as well. And Christine says there is drought everywhere. Our swamp in Michigan is very low and most places are dry. We didn't have any migratory ducks in our swamps this year. It's so sad. Like, isn't that crazy? So where are they going? And someone I know has a bird bath. And the other day, this is how crazy the weather's been. So today it's going to be really warm. I'm freezing right now, probably because of my stomach, but the other day it was freezing and the bird bath was completely frozen over. And I'm not kidding you. There was a squirrel trying to lick the ice because he was so thirsty. And the birds, kept coming up to it. So I'm watching and the birds kept coming up to it like, when are you going to put some fresh water in here? And I'm like, well, you got to wait because it's frozen solid. But they were looking at me like, lady, can you please put some moving water in here so we can drink it because we're thirsty? It's nuts everywhere. It's nuts. And Rhonda's wearing shorts today. And Rhonda said it's been raining in Arkansas all day the past 3 days, and it's in the 70s and 80s in November. Very odd. It's totally odd. And Steve, what is going on? Happy birthday to your wife. Hopefully you're doing something super fun for her today. Let us know what you're doing for your wife's birthday. That's very, very cool. And remember to hit the like button, everybody. That would be great and very much appreciated. So let's go ahead and get into our classic rock news and figure out what's going on today. Again, these articles, I just pull them by title and we read them together. because I want to be just as surprised as you are. So let's see. Mystery LA celebrity says lawyer for accusers of Sean Diddy Combs tried to extort a payout. This is from LAtimes.com, and it's going down. Like, there are going to be, I think, the celebrities who are involved in the freakouts that Diddy had, allegedly, they're shaking in their boots because these lawyers are digging deep because they know at the end of that rainbow is a pot of gold. Because these are all high-end A-listers that are allegedly or have been allegedly involved in those parties, and they could get a really good payout. So, an LA-based celebrity who, of course, is keeping his identity a secret, he's suing a lawyer representing 120 alleged victims of Diddy. And this unknown celebrity said that the lawyer tried to extort a payout in return for not saying who he is. And let's see, the celebrity is considered to be a high profile individual. He's being called John Doe through his attorneys. And let's see, attorney Tony Busby wrote demand letters in which he made wildly false, horrific allegations. And Busby said that this said person did very bad things to minors at one of the Diddy parties. And unless he agreed to settle, there was going to be consequences. So it's a stronghold situation. And gosh only knows how many other celebrities are getting these letters. And you know someone's going to cave. Someone's going to be so scared they're gonna cave. Diddy, who is 54 years old, still is in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, and he has pleaded not guilty to everything he's been accused of doing, allegedly. He's denied multiple abuse claims, and Busby's law firm has filed many of those civil lawsuits against Diddy since he was arrested back in September. And now they're saying, well, they have come out to say that there were minors allegedly involved in these freak-off parties. And lawyers for the accused are saying this is textbook extortion. And all I know is that, like I said, this is gonna definitely ruin careers, no question. Once it gets going further, it's definitely, some people are going to be canceled like they've never ever and will never ever be canceled like this again. It's going to be bad. That's what I'm thinking. And this is from people.com. Diddy's lawyers request music mogul appear in court unshackled. Why? He should be shackled. He's in jail. He's not going to get any special treatment, but do you think he is? I don't know. I would think maybe he is getting special treatment because of who he is, but I don't know. Oh, so he's supposed to appear in court today. He might be there right now for all I know. And they were asking that he appeared unshackled in court for this appearance today. Oh, he's 55 now. He's not 54 because that's right. He just had a birthday where all his kids were wishing him happy birthday on social media. They had a cake. I hope they ate the cake. Hope it was good. Wonder if there was a file in it. That's terrible. So Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, filed a late night motion on November 18th and wrote, and I quote, "We write on behalf of our client, Mr. Sean Combs, to respectfully request the court direct the United States Marshals Service to unshackle Mr. Combs prior to bringing him into the courtroom for tomorrow's hearing, and for all future court appearances. Why? Why? Like, what difference does it make, really? So his lawyer said that if he were to appear in shackles in court, it raises paramount concern of juror bias. But I mean, that's going to be tough getting a jury together of people who don't know what's going on. Like, this has been so high profile. It's every day there's something different. Like, I could literally just sit here every single day and talk about something different that is brought up in this case. That's how much news attention this has received. It's like it's bad. This is all bad stuff. And let's see, this goes on to say, given the press attention on the pretrial proceedings in this case, there is a substantial risk that potential jurors will learn about the shackling through the media and develop such a bias. He's in prison. Just don't people get shackled in prison, or do they not? And maybe I've missed out on a piece of information that no longer happens. I don't think so, but I don't know. And so Diddy's lawyer said that if he's shackled in court, it will interfere with his ability to communicate with his lawyer and goes against the respectful treatment of defendants. But was he respectful to the alleged victims, allegedly? What about all that? I mean, he's not there for nothing. You just don't go to jail for nothing. So they had to have some type of pretty good evidence to put him in jail behind bars. So something happened. And let's see, back on November 15th, last Friday, people obtained some court documents that claimed Diddy violated jail rules by influencing a potential jury while incarcerated in Brooklyn by a non-authorized third-party messaging service. How does that happen? Like, how do you even find out? How could he do that? And allegedly, he also had his children start a social media campaign around his birthday to hopefully influence potential jurors. I don't know, man. And he did, well, his lawyer filed motion for bail on Friday, November 8th, so that was a couple of weeks ago, when he claimed that new evidence should allow him to be released before the trial. I don't think that's going to happen. But again, crazier things have happened. Oh, Christine, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. And of course, that goes right to supporting us here on the channel and our radio station, Kiki.fm. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Christine. And Christine did say, this is so sad. There are so many people who look up to the celebrities and now this. And, this is what I've been saying for a long time. We don't know. We don't know. Look at Ellen DeGeneres. I was watching a little something this morning on her, and some of these YouTube videos, they're so AI generated, and you're waiting for someone to give you some information because the title is so enticing. It's so enticing. So you think something's going to be really said about why her and her, I don't know, were they divorced yet? Wife, soon to be ex-wife, Portia de Rossi, who's absolutely stunning, by the way. I used to watch her on Ally McBeal years ago. My gosh, am I dating myself? I don't care. So, they're going through separation. I don't know if they're divorced yet, but it was this video talking about why they got divorced. Well, the video doesn't even say why they got divorced. So I still don't know why. I just wanted to know why. I just wanted to know. And it told me nothing. It just went through everything we all already know, and it talked about Ellen, mistreating allegedly her employees allegedly, and how she tried to correct it and she apologized, yada yada yada. And these high profile people, sometimes you think they're just amazing, and behind the scenes, ooh, no bueno. No freaking bueno. Yeah. I think it's gonna get real dicey with this whole Diddy thing. But let's talk about Rod Stewart, shall we? So Rod Stewart, this is from Variety.com, one of my favorite news sites, by the way. He is unveiling his one last time North American tour dates with Cheap Trick. Is this going to be really one last time? I don't know. I think he's been saying this for a while, but this is the MO of our, favorite classic rock artists and classic hits artists, where this is it. I'm not doing it ever again. And then they're out the next minute performing somewhere. Whatever. Here's the thing. I love all of them. I do. I do. But just don't say this is the end then. Just don't. Just say nothing. And then maybe one day when you know that you're ready, then say, listen, December 25th is my last show ever. I'm done. But don't just say, oh, it's going to be, and then January 2nd, oh my gosh, look at, she is on a cruise. Like what's going on? I don't know. So Rod Stewart is bringing his one last time tour to the United States and North America in 2025. It's also been, I guess, throughout Europe and Asia, and it's making its debut here. So he's been on his one last time tour, I guess. And it all starts March 7th in Austin, Texas. Great place, Austin, Texas. Woohoo! Yippee, I would love to go. And I'm planning on going in 2025 because my daughter, Catalina, lives in Waco, and I would love to go visit her. Al's actually going to be making an appearance to visit our daughter. Yes, he is. It's going to be so cute. And they're going to have daddy-daughter time, which is so nice. And her birthday's coming up. Gee, it's December 10th. Crazy. So let's see. He's got 20 shows that are scheduled from March 7th through August 15th. And Rod will be reuniting with Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Cheap Trick, and he toured with them in 2022. We forget about these things. We just do. Rod Stewart's 79. What the hell? When did that happen, Rod? Sir Rod. But it goes on to say he has not officially described this as a farewell tour. He's just calling it one last time just cuz. But see, this is what Sir Rod said. Listen, you know what? At the end of this is my last show. That's it. I'm not going on the road again. I'm not doing it. Instead of like prolonging it, but he's 79. Really? He still looks great. People loved his shows last year. I mean, they raving. I love Rod. Gives a great show. It's fun. Da da da. You don't hear anything bad about Rod Stewart shows. So let's see. He released his 33rd album this year. Who knew? Called Swing Fever. I didn't know that. I literally, I read about everything and I did not even know that. Isn't that terrible? And it was a collab with Jules Holland with his Rhythm and Blues Orchestra. And they went throughout Asia and Europe before wrapping his 13-year Las Vegas residency called Rod Stewart The Hits. He's going to go back to the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace March through June of 2025 with his encore shows featuring his biggest hits, plus surprises from the songbook Swing, as well as deep cuts and new production elements. I think people just want the hits. Let's be honest. I think they just want the hits. I mean, the deep cuts, of course, you got fans. I want the deep cuts. But you know what, at a show, I think it's good for a couple. But, people, they want the hits. Let's be honest. Let's be honest and real. They want the hits. They do. Unless you're doing I think those are good for, like, a specialized show. Listen, I'm just going out, I'm just doing my deep cuts, and then you're gonna get the people to go that really just wanna hear those songs. So, yeah. And Rod sold his catalog to Irving Azoff's iconic artist for $100 million earlier this year, and that seems cheap. Does that not seem cheap to you? Cheap Trick? Cheap Rod? I don't know. But I feel like his catalog should have been worth a hell of a lot more money. I don't get it. Bruce Springsteen, 700 million, and Rod Stewart 100? I don't mm, I don't know. I don't like that. That doesn't feel good. I don't like it. Let's see. Oh, love you too. And Christine said, "Love Rod's music. My fur baby is named after Maggie May. She stole my heart. How cute is that?" Gotta love it. Axl Rose. Oh my gosh, he looks so different. Does he not look so different than what he used to look like? I mean, he looks good, don't get me wrong, but he looks like a different person. Yeah, clearly he had surgery done, but I feel like he didn't need to. I think he looked good the way he was, but, whatever. I'm not Axl. I'm not in his body, so I don't know. Now, this is from musicradar.com. It says the title, Axl did a great job, but is the Guns N' Roses singer about to rejoin AC/DC for a 2025 tour? Now, Axl's friend Sebastian Bach, who has also been in the news lately for some meltdown, quote unquote, which again, I must have missed all of his meltdown things on social media because I just saw the ring and then the not ring on his finger picture. So I missed all the other stuff, but he's going through it. He's going through it right now, whatever. But Sebastian Bach, he hinted that this might be a real thing of Axl rejoining AC/DC. So AC/DC are about to say that they're going on a big, ginormous tour in the United States in 2025. And the rumors are saying that Axl Rose may rejoin them for this tour. Now, Axl did perform with AC/DC back in 2016 on the Rock Our Bust tour, and he was standing in for Brian Johnson. He couldn't sing, if you remember all of that, that happened to Brian because he was risking going deaf if he continued. His hearing was just not good. So Axl stepped in and allegedly, I didn't see the show, but he did a great job. It was tons of fun. And Brian did go back to AC/DC for the 2020 album Power Up, and he recently finished a European tour with the guys this past summer. So why Axl now? I guess that this all started because of Sebastian Bach. Sebastian gave an interview saying that Axl would be joining AC/DC on their upcoming tour. So it was Sebastian's fault, really. And it goes on to say in this article that it's not known if Axl will actually replace Brian or just kind of be an addition, like a special guest on the tour. But Angus Young has great respect for Axl after the tour that they did together. And Angus told Classic Rock in 2019, Axl did a great job. I mean, he seems like he has such a great work ethic and he's a perfectionist. That's what I see from Axl Rose. So we will see. We will continue to keep our eyes on that. And I think that will make it a pretty big tour for AC/DC if Axl does go back. And hey, Carol, how are you? How are you? Thanks for being here. And guys, please hit the like button if you don't mind. It's free, cheap, and easy. Just like people I know. Just kidding. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And also download this free app to our radio station, Kiki.fm, playing the greatest in classic rock and classic hits on the planet. Because Al takes care of it and he does all of it and he does a great job with it. So moving on to Kiss and talking about farewell tours. So this just came out. This is from kshe95.com. This is one of the many websites is carrying this article. I just chose this one. So the title of this article reads Paul Stanley is open to one-off Kiss shows. You kind of knew this was coming. You knew that Kiss wasn't going to be able to just not do anything if Gene Simmons is still around. like it, it's so funny. I'm not saying it because the article's out, but I've been thinking about it lately. I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for the day that, Kiss is going to do something, some type of reunion show and whatever. They did their farewell tour thing. I don't think they'll go back doing what they did, but I can't imagine they're just never, ever going to do what they did again. And they said goodbye to the road in 2023. But Paul says it doesn't really mean that they'll never play live again. And he did an interview with Daily Times and he said that, he'd be open to doing a one-off appearance with the rest of the band every now and then. And he said, anything's possible. Kiss is so far from over. See what I'm saying? Though Kiss as we know it, it is done. But having our hands and our ideas and our fingers in what Kiss continues as makes all sense in the world. And he went on to say, so I look forward to whatever comes next without knowing what comes next, but I'm open to it all. And see, do you see, that's good though. They did their farewell tour. I cannot imagine them doing what they did to the level before ever again. Because like Gene had said, I mean, the costumes weigh a ton. Walking around on stage in those heels, I mean, what are they, 6 feet high? I don't know. But it just, they're older. And it's a lot. To do what they did to the perfection that they did it, there's no way Gene's going to, or Paul are going to sidestep that and do it any less than. It's just not ever going to happen. But hey, like he's saying, we might do something every now and then, which is great. That's just being real and honest. But right now, Paul is focusing on his artwork. He will be making appearances at Wentworth Gallery in Atlantic City and Short Hills, New Jersey on Friday and Saturday. But when did this come out? This article, let's see, just came out. Oh, it came out a few days ago on November 15th. So that's this weekend. If you guys, are near those areas, you can go see Paul Stanley at the Wentworth Gallery. And again, Atlantic City and Short Hills. There are 2 locations. And he's also getting ready to play again with his side project, Soul Station. And Paul also said, we're just lining up shows and tours now nationally and internationally. It's financially daunting to take a band of that size out, but selfishly, it's so rewarding for me because those songs mean so much to me. So good for you, Paul. Paul is just still out there doing what he's doing. And I got to tell you, this tea helped me so much today. Oh my gosh. It's a little cold now. If Al's listening, maybe he'll be kind enough to get me another hot cup of tea. If he's listening, but if he's not, that's fine. I'll just get it myself later. I hope he's listening. But anyway, so moving on to Alex Van Halen. Not sure if you guys got the Brothers book that he put out, and that's another one. Little snippets are out in the news of that every single day. And I've still yet to get my copy to listen. I want to listen to the audio version. And, Alex said he wasn't going to make this book about the dirt of Van Halen. He just wanted to make it about his relationship with his late brother, Eddie. And he's done a great job of doing that. But this title from blabbermouth.net says that there is probably 3 or 4 records worth of unreleased Eddie Van Halen music. And I thought this was so interesting because will he do it? Will he release that music on behalf of his brother? And how does that even work? Will the estate allow him to do it? Is he part of the estate? I don't know. Don't know the answers to those questions. But Alex was on Talk is Jericho, hosted by Fozzy frontman Chris Jericho. And, he of course talked about his decision to write his memoir called Brothers. It's got to be a bestseller by now, I'm thinking. I mean, everybody's talking about it. And that is called A Love Letter to his younger brother. And he still admits that he's still mourning Eddie's death. So he went on to say in this interview that Ed and I were tight. We worked together, we played together, we did whatever. But when he was near the end of his life, because of the virus, it was very difficult to visit him in person and to see him. What a shame that is. That is terrible. There was always either a glass barrier or a plastic something surrounding him. The times that we could actually touch him were few and far between, and that really put everything in a strange kind of, I can't explain it, but it didn't feel right. So we really had no closure in that sense, and everything was hurried near the end, again, because of the virus issue. We didn't really have a ceremony afterwards. He was cremated and his ashes were spread. This is my way of saying goodbye to him, and whatever you believe in terms of spiritual pursuits and all that, I think he's still here. He's still here with us in one way, shape, or form, not to the point where he's not allowed to go where he really wants to go. They call it a tether. You don't want to tether him to this dimension. So, Ed, whatever you want to do is cool. We love you. And I just wanted to say that to the point of infinitum, whatever the expression is. So, yeah, I mean, 2020 was horrible. Horrible for folks who had to have family members in the hospital and nursing homes. And, that should have never been a thing where you couldn't touch your loved one or be with your loved one. That's a whole other conversation in itself. So let's see where he talks about the music. So the possibility of previously unreleased Eddie Van Halen music seeing the light of day. Alex did go on to say, I've talked about it loosely and I am rather superstitious, but I can say a couple of things that I've mentioned before. We're going to go through the quote unquote vault and go through some of the musical ideas that were there. On the one end of the spectrum is the fact that little licks don't make a song. On the other end of the spectrum, some of those licks are so unbelievably powerful. It's too bad that they ended up in the back of the vault rather than being records. I mean, geez, one idea that just popped in my mind could be a total album in itself, probably. So, we don't know if it sounds like he's trying to make those unreleased pieces of music from Eddie a thing. And I think because of who Eddie was and the genius that he was, the talent that he was, it would be an amazing, amazing thing for fans to hear. So let's hope that does happen. And again, let us know if you got your copy of Brothers, because I really have to get mine. And Carol said exactly, 2020 was a shame. Again, we could go into this in a whole separate thing. We could do a whole separate thing as a members only, because I have my strong thoughts. And you know what I have to say from my own self, and I will say this out loud, and it's terrible to say, but I have to be thankful my mom wasn't here, because it would have killed me and it would have killed her if I wasn't able to be there for her, literally. And that's what makes me so sad for the people who had to go through that with their loved ones during that time. I know how my mom was. I know how close we were. And honestly, I probably would have been in jail. For real. It wouldn't have, they would have had to have arrested me, because there's no way. There's no way. And it's just, it's a, okay, so let's just move on from that, because we could go down a whole rabbit hole. But did you hear about Jason Bonham? So we got some Jason Bonham and Sammy news. And Sammy Hagar has decided to carry on with Kenny Aronoff as his drummer, and he replaced Jason Bonham in the Best of All Worlds band moving forward. And this is from consequence.net. So this past summer, Sammy had an all-star backing band featuring Joe Satriani on guitar, Michael Anthony on bass, Jason Bonham on drums, and this was his Best of All Worlds tour. And it pretty much was just Van Halen songs for the most part. Now Sammy is moving on without Jason, replacing him with drummer Kenny Aronoff. So Aronoff, I guess, filled in for Jason on the last 4 tour dates of the tour when Jason had to just bow out of the tour because his mom, her health was failing. And Jason said that the switch has become permanent. So he has posted dates for his own Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening tour, which kicks off tonight in Indianapolis. The drummer was asked by a fan in the comments, will you be rejoining the Best of All Worlds band? And Jason said, Sammy has decided to carry on with Kenny, so sadly, no. So is this something that they agreed upon? Is this something he wasn't aware of? Let's read on. Sammy doesn't have any Best of All Worlds dates on his upcoming schedule, but he did recently say that there is a big announcement coming, and he said that they're up to something, and he has the tags #new music and more shows. And it shows a couple of clips of Sammy and Michael in the studio, and he did tag Michael, Joe, and Aronoff in the Instagram post. So again, I don't know if this is something that Jason was aware of or it's something that they agreed upon. I have no idea. I have no clue because this doesn't say. This article doesn't say. So if you guys know, let us know in the comments. But then there's an article on Ultimate Classic Rock, same thing, saying that he won't return to the band. Oh, and this article from Ultimate Classic Rock goes on to say he made it clear he was disappointed by the situation. But again, was he disappointed because of his mom being sick and he couldn't do it anymore? Or was he disappointed because he didn't know he was being replaced? I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm just kind of running through. I don't want to repeat what I just said. Jason has been in Sammy's band for the past decade with the Circle, and he was on 3 of their albums in the last 5 years. And he started the Best of All World tour with them earlier this year. And he said it was very difficult to step away from the Best of All Worlds tour with only 4 shows left. The energy, the connections, and the experiences were nothing short of incredible, but my priority had to be with my mother during her fight for life. Absolutely. I mean, there are things in life you just can't control, and you have to family first. It has to be family first. So Jason tried to keep working after his mom suffered a stroke back in September, but the musicians finally agreed that it was time for Jason to go and be with her. Kenny Aronoff was the drummer for a long time for John Mellencamp, and he also performed with Sammy, Michael, and Joe in Chickenfoot. So that's pretty much all we know. That's all we know. So Jason's got his own dates with his band, and Sammy is moving forward with another drummer. Probably because he probably has shows booked. It's just not public yet. That's what I'm guessing. And thank you, Carol. Oh, Steve said, warm it up, Al, but he's not listening to me, which is fine. It's all good. This is a little chilly right now, Al, but it's fine. He's doing what he's got to do. He's busy. It's fine. I'll go have more. And I got to tell you, tea is a miracle. Do you guys know that? Do you like tea? I My stomach was so bad before I pressed the live button. I'm like, I don't know if I can get through this morning, but I feel so much better, and it's thanks to tea. And this is ginger and probiotics tea, by the way. By I don't know, what's the tea? What is the most popular tea? I can see the box. I just can't. And oh, a warmer plate for my tea. That's a good idea because I think I like it. This is good, especially for morning shows. This is awesome. Because honestly, the coffee with the creamer, I know it makes me go into a spin. Like it's fine, but not when your stomach is bothering you. So let's move on to more Sammy news. This was crazy. Again, I didn't read anything about it. I'm just learning all about it with you guys right now. This is from foxnews.com. And the title is Guy Fieri, Sammy Hagar's trucks carrying $1 million of tequila hijacked in double heist after crossing border. There's all that going on too. Didn't know that. So the former Van Halen singer said that the theft of the two trucks was a huge setback, but he and Fieri were glad nobody was hurt during this crime. Can you imagine $1 million and nobody was hurt? Like, people are insane. Insane. So two of their freight trucks carrying $1 million in products were stolen. Guy and Sammy are the co-owners of the tequila brand Santo Spirits. Now, a representative for Sammy told Fox News Digital that the trucks were hijacked over the weekend of November 9th in Laredo, Texas. The missing trucks were carrying 24,240 bottles of Santo Blanco and Reposado, as well as a specially made extra añejo. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Which was created over the course of 39 months. Oh. So Sammy's rep said, it appears this was an organized crime effort where the trucks were illegally double brokered to different carriers who transferred the product to their trucks after they crossed over the border from Mexico to Texas. Oh my gosh. And Sammy said, for a growing company like Santo, it's really a shame for something like this to happen in the middle of our strongest year to date and right before the holidays. I mean, this is when I'm thinking this is when the bulk of alcohol money is now being made, Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? So he went on to say, anyone that knows business knows that this is a huge setback for a company in a hugely competitive market. And he went on to say, but Guy and I will survive. Most of all, we're glad that nobody was hurt during this crime. And Guy did give an interview to People magazine about the heist on November 14th. He said, we've worked so hard. This is our best year we've ever had in Santo. We just all had this momentum. And now whatever's on the shelf is all people are going to get. And Guy went on to say that their Mexican distillery is on a 24/7 schedule to replace the stolen tequila. So what happened to the tequila? Like, is it gone? Did they get it back? Where are the trucks? Where's the tequila? What happened? Let's see. Do they even say? But Guy said that they probably won't be able to replenish the entire supply that was stolen in time for the holidays. And this is the time they see their highest volume of sales. And he told People that someone could be trying to break the momentum that their tequila business gained in the marketplace. What a scum move. Like, really? See, I don't think my brain doesn't think these ways. But I guess if people see competition in the market, they're going to try and bring y'all down. Bring you down. But you know what? Like I always say to Al, nobody can change who you are. Like, nobody can change who I am. Nobody can be who I am unless they're an AI robot. And even at that, you're going to know it's not me. So you can't You can duplicate, but you can never replicate. Our friend Howard says that, and it's true. It's so true. But it's just a scumbag move. And Guy also said, I mean, one is one, but now you've got to have double the amount of people to pull off the double heist. It just seems so much riskier to take two trucks. 444 cases of tequila were stolen. It would impact their distillery and their employees. So let's see. Dan Butkus, he's the Santo Spirits president, said, our distiller is an independent distiller who's dependent on our sales for his livelihood and that of his team. My sales team, my marketing team, the entire Santo Spirits team is dependent upon these sales. And that's sort of the piece that's most hurtful to me. We've got to support these people both at the distillery and in the US, and we can't do it right now without the revenue from these cases. So what does that mean? Are people out of work? I don't know. But Guy is offering a $10,000 reward to anyone who can locate the missing trucks. So I guess the trucks are still missing. How does that happen? How do you not find them with like two tractor trailers? How do they, unless they wrap them, in something else and I don't know, like I'm not a thief. I don't know how this works. So the crime of course is being investigated by the Laredo Police Department and the Los Angeles Cargo Criminal Apprehension Team, and also the Federal Cargo Theft Prevention and Recovery Network, CargoNet. And Guy also said it's like the crown jewel of the company, something that we've been working on. You can't reproduce something that takes 4 years to make. Oh my gosh. It's like a movie. I never in a million years thought this was coming down the pike like this, but it's real. How sad is that? I mean, like, yes, I mean, come on, these guys are millionaires and multimillionaires, but still, you don't want to see bad things happen. You know what I mean? You just don't. Even though the money's probably nothing to Sammy and Guy put together, but now when it impacts other people, employees, families, I'm sure that's where it hits them the most besides the money. Seriously. Because they just seem like the type of guys, that's what's going to bother them more than anything else. More than the product, more than the money. It's going to be the people in the company that it's affecting. So hopefully they find the trucks and hopefully, everything gets squared away. Now, this was kind of interesting. Christopher Cross, this is from Ultimate Classic Rock once again. He financed his breakthrough selling weed. I mean, doesn't Christopher Cross seem so straight laced? He just seems so, but he sold weed. What? This should be something. So he said he never had a rock star demeanor. That's what I just said. See, I'm just reading this for the first time. And he broke into the pre-MTV era when how you look meant less of how you sounded. True. If you looked good, people really didn't care what you sounded like because you could always dub that over. And he had 8 straight top 40 hits between 79 and 83. And of those hits, 2 of them were number 1. And I did not know this. Yacht Rock, a documentary. Where is that? I'm sorry. I just have to go off on a tangent for a second. Let's look into that. Where is that? Yacht Rock, a documentary. A documentary, and it's DOCK. Oh, it's on HBO. And it's called Music Box. Yacht Rock, a documentary. And it hasn't even come out yet. It debuts on HBO on November 29th at 9:00 Eastern. And it will be available to stream on Max. I don't have either, and I'm not paying because I know that eventually it'll end up on something, hopefully on Netflix or maybe even YouTube. I hate to say it, but people put stuff out there on YouTube, and I have watched it. It's really good. All right, come on now, go back. So let's go. I got to go back to this article now because it won't let me hit the back button. Don't you love that? Let's find that article. Let's go find that article. Is it at the... Yep, there it is. Okay. So I guess they talk about this in this documentary, and he used to be a drug dealer. What? It just doesn't fit what he seems to be. And he said that, let me wipe my nose. Sorry. Chris said that he financed his 5 times platinum Grammy-winning self-titled breakthrough through marijuana sales. Good for you, Chris. Do what you got to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he said, and I quote, "The original demos I did, all the songs ended up on the record." And he says this in the documentary. And he said, "I financed my original songs by selling weed. I had a very successful weed business, and I bought a tape machine and some consoles and stuff and invested in a studio in Austin, but like it brought good stuff." So even though it was, really not a very good thing to do or a legal thing to do, he turned it into a positive. I'm not saying to go out and do that now. I'm not saying that at all. Did I think it? I can't tell you. So let's see. He got signed to Warner Brothers because he sent the resulting tapes to an incorrect address. What? And the person who received the package liked Chris's work so much, he forced his boss to listen to it. Isn't that insane? Wow. And the boss's name is Lenny Waronker. Waronker? Something like that. That's crazy. And Chris said, "Lenny told me years later that I had just sent it to A&R. It would have been rejected outright because they weren't really accepting anything. So it was pretty serendipitous that I sent it to the wrong guy." There's one of those it was meant to be moments, and those do happen in our lifetime. They do happen. One of my favorite songs by Christopher Cross is Ride Like the Wind. I mean, that is just, I can put that on in my car anytime, roll down the window. I don't care if it's -10, which I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I don't think that's happening. And just love on that song and just drive, have portions of my hair fly out the window. And it's a great song. Great song. Yeah, so Christopher Cross, he was a bad boy. Who knew? Who the heck knew? Let's see. And Tanya said, I don't think it's out. No, November 29th, which is pretty cool. Hopefully you guys get to see it. And this next article from Harper's Bazaar. So we all know, like, the holiday season's upon us. I mean, I know several people who already have their Christmas trees up. I have a plug-in Christmas tree and a small one. There you go. And we have some decorations that Al, decorated the house with. That's it. Not putting up a big tree this year. There's no point. There's just no point because then we got to take it down, put everything away. It's just the two of us looking at it, going, "Oh, how pretty!" And then, "Oh gosh, we're gonna put it away. We're gonna put it away." Like, don't sound like old people, but it is what it is. So Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas Is You." Of hearing it now already, hearing a hint of Christmas music. As I turn the dial, not really, as I hit my playlists. That's how I listen to music. And she does have a biopic coming out, which I was not aware of. Did I say this is from harpersbazaar.com? If I didn't, there it is. So Mariah has sold over 200 million records. Been in the business a very, very long time. And she holds the record for the most number one hits as a solo artist on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. That is insane. But now it is time for her story to unfold on the big screen. And I just read that. Well, I told you guys the other day about some song Stevie Nicks did with, is it Jason Kelce? Travis Kelce's brother, the guy who dates Taylor Swift. Their collaboration Christmas song knocked Mariah Carey's out of the number one spot. But I don't think that's going to last. I think that was a one-off thing, to be honest. Because All I Want for Christmas is just way too iconic. And That it's just not gonna happen. So, let's see, Lee Daniels, he's a director. He directed the movies The Butler and Precious. He shared a clip of him and Mariah on Instagram, and the caption read, "Getting ready to go on another journey together." Now, back in 2009, Carrie played the role of Ms. Wise in the film Precious. If you have not seen that movie, very, very, very good film. Disturbing to know that these things take place, but really good movie. Um, let's see. And lots of biopics are coming out. We got Britney Spears, Madonna. I mean, I would love to see the Madonna one. I would watch the Mariah one. I mean, she's got a lot of mixed emotions from different fans on either side of the fence, the Mariah fence. But I, I enjoy her music. I don't know her as a person. She seems like a diva, but she can be because she's a diva. I mean, she really can be. She can't be mean to people though. If she's mean to people, that's not nice. And I don't like that. But I don't know that, allegedly. I don't know that. I'm just saying, that should never be a thing with anyone, no matter who you are, diva or not. But we're all divas in some shape, way, or form. So it's going to talk about her toxic marriage to Tommy Mottola, her complicated relationship with her late mother, Patricia, and just about her life. So that'll be quite interesting. Do they say when it's coming out? Let's see. Oh, Mariah hasn't officially confirmed the biopic rumors, but she has hinted that she's working on larger side projects other than music. So we don't even know if it's real yet, but chances are these things always usually turn out to be true. You know it, and I know. Every time we talk about some form of gossip or rumors, they usually end up coming true for the most part. And just like Axl Rose might be on tour with AC/DC. Well, Sebastian Bach said it. If he's good friends with Axl, chances are he probably slipped when he shouldn't have. It's probably true. But we can't say anything until, well, we already did. But we don't know until AC/DC comes out and says something. So, and, to wrap up today, everybody, and by the way, also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Please hit the like button. Helps me out a tremendous amount. Download the free app of Kiki.fm, playing the best music on the planet, classic hits and classic rock. Yes, we do. Thanks to Al. Not much Steve Perry news. And I just have to say something that's been on my mind. So the season 3, Steve's fabulous Christmas record that has been released, sold out. All of his autographed copies have been sold out. Dark Horse Records, they're the promoters of the album, but I feel like the best promotion Steve has gotten from this album is from his fans. I feel like the fans have caused his record to sell out. I feel the fans have been the major driver of his record, CD sales, whatever. That's what I feel. I don't see any ads for the album. I've seen nothing. So, you know what? You go, everybody give yourself a big hug for sharing and talking about this album even before it was released, before we knew it was even a thing. It was the fans who drove this to do the great things that it has done and is doing. So kudos to each and every one of you, really, because you're the driving force of everything. Let's be real. If you like something you see on social media or you like an artist, you're the ones who are going to talk about it. Well, me too. I talk about things that I like, don't like, whatever. But you're the ones who are driving record sales and driving people to like these things that a lot of people weren't even aware of. So I say yay for you. And Carol says, yes, we love our Steve. So I'm saying, you guys love Steve Perry so much. You're going to be the ones who are going to make sure that this record is a success. And if you haven't listened to it already, go ahead and take a listen. All of the tracks are on YouTube. It's amazing. And he's had thousands and thousands of views already, people listening to it. Pop it on in the car, just let it, what is it, shuffle. And it's a really nice holiday record from our Peppermint Perry, Steve Perry, because yes, we are in the holiday season. To call him Peppermint Perry, we're going to. Guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Oh, wait a minute. Rhonda said, I agree, Kiki. Dark Horse hasn't done their job. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but I've seen no promotions from other than fans. I have not. So all I can say is, Steve Perry, would be nice if he said thank you to his fans because they're the ones selling his records. Just, you know, they're the ones selling his records. Guys, I hope you have an amazing rest of the week. I'll be back at some point because I'm sure there's going to be something else to talk about. Give yourselves a ginormous hug. Thank you so much for your support, your love, your everything. Thank you to all of you who are listening to Kiki.fm. I mean, thousands of people are listening to us every day now. It's kind of crazy how exponentially we have grown and continue to grow. So thank you very, very much for your support. Thank you for always showing up to wipe my nose. Oh my gosh. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for always just giving your love and your likes and everything that you do. You guys are the best. Absolutely, always and forever. Remember, guys, I love you, love you, love you. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Make sure you have a great, great day.